I hit myself 4 times. Add to the stream. The thing's ending. Gee, come on. Got the banner out. And then
knocked yourself out.
He made it in again at the last second.
He was walking down the rampway just as the curtain was rising like a true pro. Tom's that guy, folks, that if he was on tour, he'd come out of the green room. He wouldn't break stride. As he's walking, without breaking stride, he's got the roadie that slings the guitar over him. Boom. And it sends him out on stage. Just one of those. Or just grabs it. You're walking by the boat. Yeah, I'll just use this one. Perfect. Welcome to Canucks with Guitars. I'm Ben. That's Terry. This is Tom. We are a live Q&A show, guitar podcast with a Canadian flavor spin, if you will. Well, it's getting colder and icier out there. A lot of fog tonight. Wow, a lot of fog. So, yes. And I'm going to get right into roll call here because we already got a Scarborough suitcase. I don't know. Almost. Nope, down to 18. Oh, somebody just snagged a 6-pack right out of that suitcase. Fine. We've got unbelievable Tim Thomas, Randy Crooks, Terry's 3Gs, Guitar Man 45, Todd Deers. Good to see Todd in here. Philly G, Guitar Man, Zach Thong, Dan of New Jersey, Luke Sinkovic. Sure, we'll go with that. Southern Shade, Martin Lemaire, Charles 75N, Dan, New Jersey, Zach Thong, Rody's Jam Cave, Randy Crooks, Charles 75N, Paul McNary, Zach Thong, Terry's 3Gs, Charles 75N, Randy Crooks, Rody's Jam Cave, Mark Effects, Zach Thong, Charles 75N, Zach Thong. Yep. BC Rich 581, Tim Thomas, Vince RJ, Benjamin Payne in the house, Mohogany, Gretsch Zeppelin, Milk Tea, Gino Ames. Where's House of Twang?
Philly G Guitar Man, Mohogany, Gretsch Zeppelin.
I saw him in here, but then there he is. Bam!
He's there.
Thought I saw it. Just the eyes are.
Gino Ames.
Michael Kroos. Bunch of folks in here. Perfect.
Janet.
Dan in New Jersey, Charles 75, Papa Blue, Janice.
More people rolling in as we speak.
All right.
And they keep a rolling.
Well, just like we do. Right, Tom?
Oh, yeah.
Rolling. What?
And as Chris from Coburn does.
Coburg.
Coburn.
we always joke about that. Wrong town.
Ugh.
The funny part is, Tom, Colburn is literally another town 18 minutes down the highway from Coburg.
Yeah, well, people always do. I live in Downingtown, and people are like, Doylestown? And I'm like, no, that's like 15 miles away. Like, it's funny, though, because they're like, oh, Doylestown. I'm like, no, I didn't say Doylestown.
Well, Randy, you have enough personality to be 3 people at times.
There you go.
At least according to your wife.
Randy, Crooks.
Randy and I were briefly talking on the phone today. And I mean briefly, because I got one of those... Yeah.
Terry Himes, hope you're still doing well.
Yeah. So shout out to Ike from Flipside Music, was on here last night for the Sunday Night Hang. What a blast. I hope you folks, it's kind of cool talking to somebody from the retail environment every once in a while because they know what's up. Support your mom and pops.
I would say in regards to Ike, what makes Ike a lot more cooler than most of the other guys or other retailers that have a presence on YouTube is that Ike's a lot more relaxed and he is a little bit more willing to spill some info.
Yeah, like I didn't know that whole backstory of what was up with Heritage.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize they own Harmony and Tysco now.
And then it was like a rich guy's son's project.
Yeah.
Uber rich person.
I never knew that either. And when I heard that, I was like totally in shock.
Well, that would be like, all of a sudden, we get handed a large operating budget and, we're working. I'm like, Terry, you're like, what? guess what? What? I just found out we could buy the rights to the name Harmony. We could start producing Harmony guitars. You're like, right on. And then a while later, Tom, what? Did you know that Teisco is available to be purchased as a brand? No. You want to make Teisco pedals?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. Turn it into like super ultra boutique.
Yeah. Exactly.
It would explain definitely why the Heritage guitars, the recent videos, there's a lot of Heritage guitars that are being demoed, played through a Harmony amp. And it does sound nice, actually.
Yeah.
The combination does sound really, really nice.
Hey,
Well,
Ricky.
There's only so many circuits you can do with the same tubes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, eventually you're going to have crossover. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, and then people say, well, you can substitute components. But, Tom, you can't because you put in 2 different of resistor. It's going to sound like ass. Or 2 different capacitance rating and it blows up. Or I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet, Michael Krause. Exactly. I'll buy them just to shelve the brand. Or actually start selling them from what they're actually worth.
Yeah.
Did you really? I don't know. I wouldn't buy a Dane Electro, man. They just went in half their price overnight. What's up with that? Oh, yeah, I heard they're totally outsourcing everything. No, actually, I heard the new owner says he doesn't feel comfortable charging what they were for pieces of crap that they were.
Michael Krause will buy one, and he'll make a Ben Coombs edition he'll say it's all made out of wood, but then it's all
wood.
It's all the opposite.
Yeah.
The stuff that Ben doesn't like. The rich light or baked light.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I was speaking to Sir Lawrence today from Label. What's up, Billy Baloney? Still not in the mail. Let's hope for tomorrow. He bought a pedal off me, which I don't know if folks saw. I put a post out last week. I put up a bunch of pedals for sale because...
I'm going to guess that's either a DD3, 6, or 7.
It's a 3.
Okay.
Yep. And it turns out basically a guitar that I agreed to move for somebody, I decided to buy, and then I only put a down payment on, and then I've had in here for a number of years. I'm not going to say which guitar it is, and the patrons and the channel members know. But, totally slipped my mind. Totally thought I paid it off. And then Buddy's like, hey. I'm like, hey.
Hey, what's going on?
You think you could maybe shoot some coinage this way? And I went, ooh. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Can you give me a week or 2? And he's like, yeah, not a problem. That kind of went into that bit of a rant in the video. I wouldn't say a rant. Tom knows because Tom's a channel member and a patron, so he saw the video. I'm just because for those who don't know, at the beginning of the month, I like to put out a state of the channel or what's up with me that you don't necessarily hear on these shows, some behind the scenes stuff.
And you hope it's at the workbench because usually it's at the workbench and it's the best when it's at the workbench.
There's usually a rant involved.
One time you had Sam, so that was equally as good because she's just like you. She's like Ben Jr. in a girl's body. She's like all personality. She's like, well, Uncle Ben, I don't think you've mentioned our sponsors.
Yeah. Hey, David Ennis.
And then the one time she's like, how much will I be getting for this?
Enjoy Vegas AQ Music. Yeah. So, fortunately, though, we sold a pedal, hoping to sell a couple more things. So, those who know what I have for pedals around, hit me up if you're interested. Not the LPD stuff. No.
I still have my first, decent pedal, or good pedal, I guess. I call it a good pedal, was a Boss DD6. Because it was the new one at the time, after the DD3. I think the 6 adds, I don't know, another tap tempo or something I don't use. But, but I still have that. I still...
Oh, apparently Randy gave away which guitar it was, but...
Oh, there you go. Wow. Generous, Randy.
Thanks, Randy. I do appreciate it.
It was a glass saxophone.
Well, I just had one a few minutes ago, but hey, why not? It's not like I'm driving anymore tonight. Milt, I'd love to move the chips into somebody who would play it.
That's the toughest thing is like, because with the Gibson, it's like you can sell it privately, but you can't go out on the open market.
Well, and that's the thing. I would put it into someone's hands that knows what it is, and I know that they're not gonna like. If I'd have no problem say selling or trading it to one of you two guys because
Right.
I know you're not gonna be. Hey, I've got this. It's worth $5,000.
Here's the funny thing about Gibson to me. My only ethical thing with it is the fact that if I paid, I don't know, $2,500 thinking I was getting a Gibson Les Paul Standard made in the U.S. and I got a Gibson, I'd be pissed. But anyone who's going to drop, that can afford to drop $2,500 on a guitar, they're going to do the kind of research that I just don't think that they're going to be fooled by it. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're going to realize what it is. And the funny thing, on the other hand, side of
Unbelievable can buy it, but we'll just keep it here, right? That's the deal. But you can buy it, but I'll just borrow it off them.
But how many guitars now are being made in China? So it's kind of like, it's like Apple saying we want to not support like terrorism and all this, and it's like, but you're promoting slavery yourself in your iPhone factory. So
well, Tom,
like so many guitars made in China, does it really matter at a certain point? You know what I mean? Like,
I know our regulars like story time with Ben, and that's why I do the flashback Fridays and such. And
I love it.
It just a random memory popped into my head. I want to say it was around 1990. We'll say, let's say 1990.
Yep. Thanks, Randy.
Myself and my father were hanging out at Ardens Music. I know, shocker.
I would have liked to see what was on the wall that year. I'm sure
a lot of Charvettes.
Yep.
Profiles and Hondas.
Charvette. Yep.
Because they were a student, very much. They didn't carry gigging equipment a whole lot.
I like the Charvette.
So we were in there. I think I was still taking some lessons at the time. And later, a kid was in there. Later became a good friend of mine. Hell of a player. Jesus Christ. Chicken picking. He was one of the 3 guys in high school that listened to country music before Garth Brooks. Because that's what brought country into high school.
Oh yeah, that's
for
what
us was Garth Brooks.
So pop music.
He wanted to show off this guitar because he had heard that my dad played Telecaster. He goes, well, Mr. Coombs. He says, it's Dave. It's not Mr. Coombs. It's like, yeah. He goes, I have a Telecaster as well. He goes, oh, really? Yeah. So he opens up the case. And it was a natural finish, so a clear finish on a thin line telly with gold hardware.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's pretty
and
rare.
Dad took it out of the, and looked at it for about 3 seconds. He went, it's a kit. The face dropping on both father and son because Rob was there with his dad, Bob. Yeah, Rob and Bob. Bob Hood.
Wow.
Great guys. And, but that was the thing at the time when you bought a Telecaster kit, guess what? It came with a Fender Telecaster water slide.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This was the 80s into the 90s, Terry, when, they that's why, when people start making a big deal at Gibsons and stuff, I'm like, shit's been around forever. Like, how many tellies did Glazer build in Nashville for pro players that looked and felt exactly like a vintage telly and that said Fender Telecaster on them? Because that's what I had heard was growing up, Dad telling me a lot of these guys that when their tellies wore out, they would go to guys like Glazer or whomever down there and say, here, build me a replica of this that I can take back out on the road. Okay. So half the tellies you saw on TV weren't even tellies.
Famous Glazer tellies, yep.
Yeah.
I mean, but at a certain point, I think we're almost fooling ourselves. Like, it's all wood, right?
Yeah, exactly. And not to mention, if you bought let's call it a 77 Glazer.
Yeah.
A telly he built in 77 based off of somebody's 53 Blackguard. That guitar is probably worth every bit as much as not necessarily a 53, but a comparable vintage of a Fender or even a 67 Fender.
There's still 3 guitars from certain years of certain companies I can think of right now that, and I'm not saying this to be a jerk, but I will tell you off the air, Ben, but I'm not going to say them on the air because if more people know they're that good, the price is going to keep going up. But there's a couple out there right now that they're not a good deal. Like I couldn't buy it and sell it on Reverb and make money. It wouldn't go up in price. But I can tell you that there's 2 guitars out there right now that are identical to, let's just say, a guitar going for $3,500 to $4,000 from the 70s right now. There's an identical model made in the same factory under a different name that you can get for about $1,000 right now.
Right. Yeah, I see someone mentioning like Ibanez.
You know,
Billy said Ibanez started building knockoffs. They did, but at least they put the Ibanez name on.
Yeah.
They weren't branding them as Fender and Gibson.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing as the Greco, like Ike's Tele Deluxe.
Yeah.
It said Greco. Mind you, the font was very close to a Gibson font. But still,
it's like, what is it? The Tokai, their P-Bass knockoff, the Crushers or whatever. They use the exact same font to the point where I'm like, at a distance, I'm like, what does that say? And then I get up close, I'm like, oh, all right. El Degas was the same deal. I had an El Degas P-Bass knockoff. It was total knockoff. Yeah, Princess Telly was a Honer. Slash's Les Paul was not a Gibson.
The Uneffing Believable says the Tokai fakes are interesting. The Tokai Love Rocks, Les Paul copies are phenomenal. And
they're not cheap. Hey, Mayhem.
And the Tokai 60s strats that they made in the 80s are great.
Oh, yeah.
Springy sound.
And Tokai's always had that premium. Like, they carried Ibanez prices, even though they was looked at as they're still doing knockoffs. But they were commanding, I guess, be comparable to, like, made in Mexico.
Right.
Or any other, or a Fender made in Japan. They were worth just as much as a Fender MAJ.
Well, then you even have within a company, like the famous, there's the Gibson Custom Shop, and then the equivalent of the Gibson Custom Shops, like Masterbuilt, which, like the Fenders and Masterbuilt. In Japan, they have the Yamato Les Pauls, which there was a famous guy named Yamato, or Yamato Music, and they would say, look at 200 custom shop Les Pauls and cherry pick the best 10 or 20, and it would be the Yamato Les Pauls, and then they take them to Japan, and immediately when they were selling a custom shop one for $4,000 to $6,000, they'd sell that one for $10,000 in Japan, because the Japanese, a lot of them, the wealthy at least, have money where they're just $10,000, $8,000, $6,000. I don't care. Just I want it.
Right.
It's a weird thing.
Yes, very cool.
Vince RJ says
we got 53 people watching. Nope, 52 people watching. Please leave a thumbs up if you haven't already.
Share, subscribe.
Excuse me, and if you're new, please subscribe, of course. What else do we have going on? We talked a bit about what happened to me on the weekend there. I got to play guitar with other people.
Nice.
Oh, so much fun.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Good. 2 other gentlemen. A drummer who I had jammed with for a period of time, who was actually technically the original drummer for the Honey Badger outfit.
Oh, cool.
And another gentleman who apparently plays bass in another band, but is playing guitar in this band. And then they have a bass player who also plays bass in a couple other bands, and he's a multi-instrumentalist, and he didn't show up. But he's one of these guys that could learn the material like RJ in a day and a half. So he's just like, call me when you have a gig, and I'll still show up for one practice beforehand, know everything. I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. We don't have anybody who sings. Although the other guitar player is talking, he wants to start singing. I said, that's fine.
Cool.
He asked if I sang, and I said yes. And he says, do you want to sing? And I said, no. I said, because I'm terrible at remembering lyrics. He said, well, you can have a music stand up there. I said, no, I'm not one of those dudes. I don't do that. I am happy to sing up background vocals, off key. You can call it harmony. It's just
yeah, you're motor riding.
Yeah, doing like Neil Young harmonies, What's up, Garka?
You're harmonizing each melody note to a different, percentage, of the harmony.
Why are you singing that note? Oh, I'm going for the flat fifth. Thought it'd be cool.
I thought I would just sing them all the same. Hey, then at least I probably hit one note correct.
Born to be wild.
So
it's hard to do. You have to think about it. Born to
well, it was
be
interesting
wild.
is so the drummer had his drum kit heavily padded down, like couch cushions, blocking toms, and so he got to the point where we were basically playing at bedroom volume, which was wild. So and he was playing with brushes instead of sticks, like anything to keep the volume down. So I didn't have to wear earplugs. It was awesome. In fact, I didn't even adjust my amp up or down. Whatever it was at the last volume I played in here, which was a little louder because I think I did it shooting a video, but still, it wasn't loud. The other guy showed up with like a Blues Junior or a Pro Junior or some kind of small Fender. It was black. It wasn't in the tone tweed, so he wasn't as cool as me. Sorry, Frank.
Mine's purple.
But he showed up with a Mexican HSS Strat, and he played direct, no pedals, Tom.
Nice.
I was shocked. I can't think of the last time I jammed with somebody that didn't either A, have pedals, or B, was playing some form of modeling system, or a multi-effects unit, or, like, nobody just have guitar, plug into amp, and play. Like, who does that? Who does that? LPD can't stand it when people do that. He really hates it. Stealth Parrot's here, too. What's up, gentlemen? Papa Blue. So he was playing this Strat, and he's like, I was talking because I have the Chola on there for the lead boost, but it's a little too much, so I'm going to try something else. I might put the Embers on as a lead boost, I'm thinking. Because that would be fun. I know.
And he shows up.
But the funny
Either that, or else he was lurking, and then all of a sudden heard himself mentioned about no pedal, and he had to say something.
So yeah, the interesting thing was, the drummer's like, "So what are you doing when you play lead?" He's, "Oh, I'm just riding my volume pot." I'm like, "Oh, you're one of those dudes? You can do that?" He goes, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." It was like Jay Mascis, who couldn't palm mute until a few years ago, because I was just like, "Yeah, I can't do that." He goes, "What? You can't just?" I'm like, "No, that's not an option for me." Hello, Eric. So he was doing that, although neither the drummer, which I'm not surprised, drummers, they shouldn't know pedal companies. Neither one of them, what I'm saying, had heard of Lawrence, but by the end of the show or rehearsal, they had heard him all right. And they're like, "Wow, that's some great tone." To the point where the guitar player, he's like, "Wait, can I just hear your amp clean? Like, what's your bypass signal?" So they play, I'm plink, plink, well, you guys hear it in every pedal demo. Like, the amp's set clean. And he's like, "Really? You're doing all that with the pedals?" I was like, he goes, "Man, I got to get some pedals because I got 4 pedals and they're all just sitting in a shoebox." I'm like, Shame. I shall corrupt you. I'm going to have him build a He's like, "Hey," he goes, "By the way," he goes, he knew that I did YouTube. Mihai, the drummer, had shown him the channel last week. So I don't know if they subbed or not. They should have. They didn't. It was, so they're like, "Oh, yeah, so you do pedal demo?" Yeah. And then he's talking about the Strat, and he goes, "Here, check it out." And I'm like, "Oh, wow. There's no radius in those saddles." I'm like, "Yeah, your outside strings are much higher than your inside type thing." Like, he's like, "This thing needs a setup." I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, do you know what the guys over blah, 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 are they any good?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, or I could do it." He goes, "Oh, you do setups too?" I'm like, "Yep." He's like, "Really?" He goes, "I am really glad to know you." I'm like, "Well, thank you." So we're going to do it again this week. And then after Frank, the other guitar player, left, I was talking with Mihai, who I've known for a few years now, obviously. And he looks at me, he goes, "Dude, like, we've been at this for over a year." I'm like, "Really?" And because it was just a jam. We didn't even pick songs per se. It was just pick a riff and play. And that could have been just because it was me or whatever. But he's like, "Yeah, it was hard to get people to come out because of the pandemic and blah, 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 and variety of things." And then other guys are either like, "Oh, you're not pro enough for us," or, "Ooh, you guys are better than," it's like literally that's what they were getting, is either complete beginners that wanted to just jam and learn how to play, or guys that, you don't want to gig 3 nights a week every weekend, because that's their mentality was. And it's just like, no, like, the guitar player also plays bass in another band, and he's a school teacher by day. So he's got a lot. Oh, and he's got kids and a family. So that's a bit much, you know. So he's like, I'm just happy with jamming once a week and maybe play a gig every month or so. I'm like, works for me, dude. Works for me. And nothing else. It's just getting out and playing some loud rock and roll, which I did. Which, of course, started out just using the Dutchman. You know, just the Dutchman, coil tapped quite often. You know, fairly clean. By the end of the jam, nope, LPD red channel. Yeah, just giving her till my fingers hurted. They hurted, all kinds of hurted. Yeah, pretty much 251. I gotta try that. What's 251? That would be like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I think I know those number things. I think 8 and 1 are the same thing. That I know, but 8's an octave up.
Yep.
Papa Blue.
That's right, Michael.
It should be a minor 2 though, uneffing believable, or are we doing a major 2?
Dropping that knowledge. So.
Oh God, there's trouble.
A, D, G, in G. So then you would solo in the key of G major pops?
Yeah.
I understand A, D, G, in G. Like that makes
A
sense.
minor, A minor, D, G.
D minor, G7, C.
Oh, he's going for all the types.
It's like a 1, 4, 5 in G out of order, but you're using the relative minor, the A minor, instead of the C. That's how it happens. But it's usually
power chords. Call it what you want.
There you go.
That's the
D
easy one to do.
7C. Lawrence nailed it. Lawrence knows his stuff.
Does Quentin know the chord form for ketchup?
Power chords. Okay. If you're talking
K chord,
then I get it.
yeah, because Stone Temple Pilots use those K chords. Totally confuddled me too, Michael. You're not alone. I'll drink to that. Speaking of which, if you haven't already, crack open one of your favorite cold snacks and let's have a conversation.
There you go.
Hey, Symmetry.
Hey, Symmetry.
I'm actually enjoying
tea. Oh, McNary.
Michael, that's all I did on. No, that's not true. I was doing some half step stuff. I was playing it for Terry off air, which I think is just major scale stuff. I don't know. I played alongside with a major pentatonic. So, but that's thank God. Half the jams we did, Tom, was just 2 chords, and I had a 50-50 chance of soloing in the right key. It's like A minor and G major back and forth. All right, am I going to solo in A minor pentatonic, or am I going to solo in G major pentatonic?
Let's
see how that works.
Saying that they say
play
pick a box and play in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Pretty much. Yeah. So at halftime, I was like, "What key is this?" And fortunately, the other guy has a clue. And then after playing with me for 2 hours, he's like, "How do you play like you do and not know a thing?" I'm like, "Because I've been doing it for 30 years."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only note that's different is the F and the F sharp. So you can just stay off of that 7th or 6th, depending if you're referring to it from the A or the G. Stay off of that note, you'll be fine. So you really have like a 1 in, or you're only going to hit it like 1/8, a 12.5% chance to hit a bad note. That's what it works out to.
And the guy Frank even quoted Quentin James at the rehearsal, because he said, "Hey, I heard this thing. When you're soloing, worst case, you're only off by 1 fret."
Mm-hmm. All I gotta do is bend it.
Yep. To which I did, because then I grabbed something that was nowhere near and I ended up bending it up like 3 frets to make it work.
Yeah. A Dorian, G Mixolydian. Mix a few of them.
Yeah, I don't know what's what. I don't know what any of that stuff is. I know all the phrases and the words, but meanings, not so much.
Quentin, Ben Coombs, there's only 12 notes. Think you would have figured them all out by now.
Well, you see, I know what all 12 are. I got them laid out on the Scrabble tiles, but I just don't know which order to put them in or which ones make the words.
I'll take this one and this one. Throw a slide. There you go.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Or you just throw in a slide. Yep.
Hey, Gear Junkie 35.
What's up, buddy?
There you go.
He was live yesterday. If people haven't checked out Gear Junkie 35's channel already, please do. I think I have pedals. That guy.
Okay, the last theory based on songs, or in general, is I don't think that songs need to really be that harmonically dense and harmonically complex, as long as the melody is strong. So
I understand that, Michael. My problem is it goes in the eyes and right out. Like it does not stick. There's no stickiness in there. Lawrence knows. And then exactly, Pops. See, he knows how to give her. When all else fails, step on the wah. Or kick on a phaser, why don't you? And if you really are uncomfortable with your playing, put the phaser post-game so it covers up even more.
I'm looking at Randy's comment and I'm thinking to myself, so are you trying to say, like, if you shake it twice, you're playing with it?
No, if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with yourself.
Yeah.
No, but if you do it twice, yeah, if you make a mistake, just repeat it every time around it, and you're like, that's my take on
it. Exactly.
Or tons of delay. Yep. Delay works. Yep.
Songs in the key of suck.
Speaking of which, video coming out this week on Wednesday, because everybody, I'm pretty sure, Terry remind me. Public video last week was me building the pedal board. I put that out publicly, did I not? In other words, did you see it?
I saw it.
I think that was a public video. Yes. Okay. Well, good, because...
You building the board to go jam? Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, all right. Yeah, you do that, Michael. Believe me, the more you smoke, the better we make sense. Yeah, so Wednesday, I did a rundown on it, a playthrough of that board. So that'll be out Wednesday. Because a few people asked to hear it, because they're like, wow, that's a lot of boutiquerie in one little board. And I was like, yeah, it is. They're like, can we hear it? I was like, I suppose. So I put the whole pedal board up on the tone stand, Tom. I'm just saying. No, I already recorded it and uploaded it, Terry.
Well, either way.
But thank you. Yes, because I was dialing it in for the rehearsal, and I'm like, you know what? We'll just put it up on the tone stand right over here. And then we had just had the camera face it, so you don't even see me. You just look at the board. That's what you see is what you hear. Isn't that what you... Although you can't really make out where the knobs are necessarily. Either way, it's a playthrough. So that'll be fun, I guess, if you're hearing it. I need another flanger. Next year will be the year of the flanger magic, man. Maybe we'll get Lawrence to release a flanger to go with the phaser. Flanger would be cool, though.
It's kind of a funny name, though.
That's right, Charles 75N. Because he and I were hanging out in the live stream yesterday. Somebody else was there, but they were lurking. I don't know who it was. But the guy quickly unboxed like 3 pedals in 10 minutes. And he's like, all right, there you go. Back to your day. You know, and it's like, what happened? That was cool. Exactly. Unbelievable. No pressure. Papa Blue.
That happened.
It can happen.
It's the year of the combo 3 with extra egg roll.
Wait, is it the year of the rat or the phaser? No. Apparently for YouTube, all of a sudden it's the quarter of the rat for at least quarter number 4.
I thought before it was the year of the chorus.
For me, this is the year of the chorus. Yes. And I'm hoping next year will be the year of the flange. Although flangers aren't the cheapest pedals in the world. So
I'd almost have to actually argue, Ben, that it's actually year of the LPD pedal for you. Oh, what's that, Lawrence? You're releasing another pedal? Can I get it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if one came out this year that I didn't get that wasn't a variant. You know, like I didn't get the 68 stacked. I don't need the 68. I got a 68. I don't need a 68 stacked. Or, you know, like a blackout stealth or something. The year of the Korai. Yes, Laz. Exactly.
Korai.
Magic Man says, I would so buy an LPD flanger. All right, we'll make up the webpage and we'll start a mailing list or an email list, waiting list. Speaking of which, found out some news last night from my good friend Terry here. He did a little investigative journalism. By that, he asked Lawrence, hey, are there any nice drive A's still for sale? And Lawrence went, no. Why would you ask that? And he's like, well, Ben's been plugging them everywhere. Like, I can't go into a chat without Ben just like, please buy my pedal. And he's like, easy, buddy. He's texting me on the side. He's like, hey, you're sounding desperate, dude. Like, just relax. And then turns out it's all for naught because we sold them all. So now we have the waiting list for run number 3. Which has started, which is the exact same webpage, if you have it bookmarked, you know, for reference and drooling pleasure. It is, we don't know when the 3rd release will be done, but I'm going to be guessing it'll be in around the time that Pete Thorne releases a demo of it, because...
So you officially sold out the 2nd run.
Apparently.
Nice. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations, Lawrence.
Yeah, congrats. Lawrence built a fine product. He just let me slap my name on it, call it mine.
That's cool, though, man. Very cool.
Yeah. You know, the final event it'll just be a production thing, but that just means he has to keep parts for 3 or 4 at any given time, you know, just in case. See, look, Charles, there you go. I did not pay him to say that. That's right. Put a Dutch into a 68 and then thank me later. Yep. When is the year of the Univibe? That's my favorite. All I end up doing is playing Machine Gun. That's the problem, Tom. I get a vibe. All I do is play Machine Gun.
I end up being like a music store on a Saturday. I just sit there and go, "Oh, that sounds so good!" Like
Swap Dite Bailey. Gosh, let's just throw the letters right into other words altogether. Sup, Dwight Bailey. Speaking of Guitar Man 45, I should read off, thank, shout out, if you will. Praise, that's a bit much.
2022, someone just hinted.
Oh, okay. So I would assume that would mean the 3rd run of my pedal, maybe? Yeah, that makes sense. You can't do it again this year. Like, come on. We're into November. You still got to order parts.
I was thinking maybe something vibey.
Oh, well, that too. Yes. That too.
Could be, but...
Well, you know, all I see is 2 very incriminating, because we have that. And then we have that. Because, Tom, you know every time I do an LPD demo, you see someone says, oh, so now we can talk about this one?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
No comment.
All right, let's see here. Speaking of which, so yes, I want to shout out. Hey, Kevin Wood.
A Roft.
Someone play a Roft? What's a Roft?
Rift. I don't have a video game loaded to play Rift.
Really? Still have a few fun things coming. Still? Really? All right. I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying. Yeah. Although, you know, the one thing that you delayed for next year that I already have a prototype of, you could have released into the gluttony of other ones that came out this quarter, because, as I said last night, yours is the only one with that superfluous 4th knob. Only one. Because that was the other thing. I wouldn't buy the Pack Rat because it doesn't have the Lawrence vermin. Where's the vermin setting? I have all the rats. No, you don't. No, you don't. You may have all the rats, but you don't have all the vermin. Wow,
it's actually funny
ranty.
because I listened
all right, let's calm
that
myself down and
pedal.
thank some people and put some good out there because I'm just. Whoo! All right, please, if you will. Beginning of the month, great opportunity. I might have that blooper reel out soon enough. I know I've been saying it for months, but I've been keeping little pieces here and there. I want to make it a few minutes long. So the blooper reel will be coming out for the patrons and or channel members sooner than later. I want to thank Mahogany, Randy Crooks, Other Left, Absolute Mayhem, Brad Guitar Miller, Charles Green, Cousin Todd Flowers, Craig T. Tomlinson, Grumpy Mike Guitar, Blackjack Guitar, Ben Tom, Fruitcake Tony, Jose Benito Martinez Jr., JP Page 2, haven't seen him tonight, Long John ZD351. Maybe they're having a party without us. Charles 75N, unfucking believable. Knucklehead 0. Hope he's doing well. Keith H, Josie, Mickey Settlemeyer, Paul McNary, Symmetry, and Guitar Man 45. You know what banner we don't put up during the show? This one. Because that's not us.
See you later, Marcus.
See you, Marcus. Is Lawrence thinking about doing an EQ tuner? An EQ and a tuner in one?
That would be a weird combination.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, I don't need this anymore. So, yes, thank you everyone for my patrons, including recently, the last couple months, a couple of you decided to upgrade what you did. So, I appreciate that. Let's see here. There's BC Rich 581. Robot Master Switch snuck in here. Cool.
Yep.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, but you didn't want to be lumped into a pile of shmoo. I get it, but it would have been so dominant. Would it just because it's better. It's just better.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Listening to all the demos of that, to me, it's just kind of like what you're saying about that Valco fuzz pedal that you had gotten with the very, very.
You know, it reminded me of. I heard it, and there's like I don't know. 49 settings, but really I heard 4 pedals, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I like the second one, and the fifth one, and the seventh one. Why? Because they all sounded the same. Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot different than their Muffaletto that they released. That had more definition in each setting compared to, say, the Rat variations.
Gee, you notice that when someone posts a link to one of their own things, eh, Brad? Yeah, that never happens in this chat. But yes, waitlist for the third run. Wow, that's going to be a bitch to say when we're promoting that. All right, so we're going to do the fourth run A and B series. 4A and 4B. Or we're going to do a second run. Yeah, we'll just call that. We're going to do a second run. Flanger before phaser, vice versa, and before or after dirt. Good question. I like my flanger into my phaser. I like my chorus before both of those. Chorus, then flanger, then phaser. But that's just me. I like all my stuff usually post dirt because it's more all-encompassing, enveloping, just grabs you right by the cojones. Or you can do the more EVH style and put the modulation out front. Right, Tom?
Yeah. Put your flanger and your phase 90 out front. So
Terry?
Papa Blue said, "Is that a Frankie behind me?" Yeah, that's the one.
Again, the only place I would put stuff like that is again effects loop. So
after.
Yeah.
Post. There you are.
Just depends
Those
on
two effects before and or after dirt change a lot of things, man. Yes, they do. That's why quite often I like to run a phaser before and after my dirt. Why not? Oh, speaking of which, I saw earlier and mentioned House of Twang buffered his board apparently. So did you just put a Boss pedal at the front and start? So that's all you really need to do. Cheapest way to buffer your, but you don't have to have them turned on, folks. It's just there. All it's there to do is bring you back up to line level. Why not, Robot Master Switch? Why aren't your flanger and phaser on at the same time? All the time. I've done that too. Although you can get some flanger territory by running a chorus into a phaser, I find.
Yeah.
Hey, Bumblebess.
What's up, Bumblebess?
There you go.
Going Bumblebess.
There
we go. Yeah, perfect. Boss tuner at the front and a reverb pedal at the end that has a buffer in it.
There you go.
Yeah, he's got a Strymon reverb.
Ooh, fancy.
I didn't even know that had a buffer in it. I was like, really? And then I was thinking about it. The amount of money you pay for one of those damn pedals, every one of them should have a buffer.
All right, I'm just going to say it. House of Twang's a bit of a tone snob. This is, as far as I know, he may or may not be in possession of a fairly decent PRS or two, and he's got a Strymon type device. Oh, that has yacht rock all over it. Like that's that's cul-de-sac dad band, you know? You know what I'm saying, Tom? The cul-de-sac dad bands. You show up, everyone's got a Friedman with like a PRS 10 top. Like it's just custom shop. And they're like playing
like a Jakey Lee full stack.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Tone sniffer.
Yes. Oh, I've been using the term tone sniffer for a good decade now.
A good one.
Oh, he's such a tone sniffer.
It's awesome.
So we're playing a set down at the local winery this weekend. Of course you are. Of course you are. Yeah, featuring him Richard Marks and Kenny G. Not that there's anything wrong with Richard Marks or Kenny G, I guess. I don't know.
2 LPD reverbs at the end of the chain after the Moore Ocean Machine. Yeah, never enough reverb.
Hey, Eddie Van Haskell. Michael just wants tips on the porch. See, I like that.
The porch? What would that be?
It's where, like, if you live on a suburban street, you know, like, say there's a park down the street, Tom, so you have a fair amount of people that walk back and forth from the park to walk their dogs, what have you. Yeah. Just sit at the end of the driveway with the old axamification and knock out a tune or two. Buskin', you barely have to unload. You can run an extension cord even right from the house and keep her electric.
There you go.
Michael Kress brings up a good question. Why are Paul Reed Smiths considered snooty yet Gibsons are not? No one's ever said that I've ever heard of. They're both
I think it's just because you see so many PRSs have like the beautiful flame tops, and not every Gibson has that custom shop quality flame, you know.
I don't know. Response.
Yeah, PRSs are doctor and lawyer guitars. Yep.
PRSs are just in general more akin to like the $300,000 sports car versus like, you know, to me, a Les Paul is more like a muscle car. You know. So the same kind of person that's going to buy like, you know, Ferrari probably has about 10 PRSs, you know.
Well, it's like, Tom, Les Paul might be a Corvette, you know, muscle car type thing. Yeah. PRS is a Jaguar. Or BMW or Mercedes. Even though they're not European, they're a little more stylish.
Is a Ford fix or repair daily?
It's all good fun, though. You know, I don't really care either way. I mean, buy what you like, play what you
Billy
like.
Baloney says PRS looks like 70s California furniture. No, I like 70s furniture from California. I like 60s furniture from California, too. I like California.
Robot Master Switch. Actually, that's not true. The Mira S2 would be the Les Paul Studio equivalent.
Lester Pulfa style, or single cut, if you will.
Yeah. Well, just the fact of like the Les Paul Studio is a stripped down version of the Les Paul. So the S2 Mira, if I remember correctly, was actually supposed to be like a stripped down version.
So
like
pulled out the Ovation Viper EA68 today. Need to get to Phil for a setup. Oh, you're contributing to Phil's busyness. Of course you are.
I was going to say, did you buy that from Steve? Steve said he had sold his.
Would they still sell if they were just Paul Smith guitars? Yeah. I don't know. But yeah. Hey, Jeff K. Unless you have an SE model, it could be a Garth Mobile Grim. You know, it's interesting. Now, this is just my own personal observation. I don't go to somebody's place that owns, let's say, an Epiphone Les Paul. They go, oh, it's basically the same as a Gibson. You know, they say, oh, they're pretty good for the money. You know, it's not quite the same, but they're pretty good. Everybody that you ever here play my SE, oh, it plays the exact same as the American ones. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're nice, but they're not the same. Except Dale Boyle music. But you know, I don't know about you, Tom, with friends growing up that played any kind like an SE, and they're they're basically the same thing. Oh, they're basically the same thing. Oh, they all do that because they're offended that you would even think that they weren't.
It's basically the same thing.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And for those out there, if you own an SE, don't be that guy. And if you got a friend that owns an SE and you want to just a little, just mess with them enough so you get them to, it's the same thing.
No, that's actually
that's their tone sniffery all oozing out.
That's the only guitar model I haven't actually touched yet. I had an opportunity to play one yet. Is an SE, Paul Reed Smith SE model yet.
Michael Cross is actually the middle name does make it snooty. And it's okay, he can say that because he's got an SE and it's basically the same thing.
Well, what's the English company? Isn't there an English company called Riley Smith or something like that?
I have no idea.
It's the one that China Mike didn't hear about until like not that long ago, and TTK I think actually had stumbled onto it because they had them at the last name, not the last winter name, that is.
Eddie's comment: PRS guitars look like stunt doubles for the Brady Bunch.
That's a good one.
Dale Boyle Music House, what's your favorite go-to amp? For me, probably my under the cover, the Fender Blues Deluxe, because I think I could have one of those show up if I needed one at a back line. Right, Tom? There's enough of them out there. Yeah, I need a Fender Blues Deluxe. All right. Well, we got your Hot Rod Deluxe. Whatever, I'm using the clean channel anyways.
Yeah.
Gordon Smith, made in the UK.
Yes.
Thank you, Robot Master Switch.
Thank you, Robot.
Yeah, not Gordon Ramsay made guitars. Gordon Smith. Totally different.
What if it was Gordon R. Smith? It was GRS instead of PRS.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
GRS.
That would be so good.
Oh.
Nice. All right. And if I offended you as a PRS owner, don't worry about it. Now you feel like the Dane Electro owners that tune in. It's all in jest.
All right, Janice.
I hope your trip is successful because it sounds like she's. I don't know. I might be back. I might not. Who knows?
Yeah. Gotta go the garbage.
Do you need Quentin to run interference for you? He's packing.
Garbage monsters, garbage zombies.
Yep. Like Twang said.
Paul Reed Smith III. Yes, I play a Paul Reed Smith III, number 10 top.
Well, it's like, remember what was the big thing last year with their near field pickups? Like the fucking mini humbuckers.
Near field.
Near field. Who? Near field.
Billy.
That's so good.
Just throw a Motorhead sticker on it. Actually, yeah. Actually, not even. Like a Dean Markley. You know those Dean Markley in the strings? They give you the sticker that looked the exact same as the front of the pack of strings.
Yeah.
Basically the same size.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or D'Addario did that as well. I remember they used to do them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, I'm making fun of Brad. Brad's gonna. Oh, it's basically the same thing, though.
It's basically the same thing.
Maybe if it wasn't an SE and it was an American one, he'd be my favorite Miller.
Anyway,
No, actually, he's my favorite Miller because it's an SE.
Paul Reed Smith is Thurston Howell III's love child with Ginger.
There you go.
Big Sweetwater sticker, yes.
Oh, God.
For an LPD sticker on there on the front.
Oh, hilarity. Oh, heads would explode.
Well, same thing as when you deface a Gibson.
Well,
Any Gibson.
okay, now you want to talk snobbery. The custom shop crowd, where, my God, I would love to show up with a 5A maple top, flamed out, Tom, with the pickguard on it. Because they're like, you have to take it off and show off the flame. No. Les Pauls should have pickguards. That's why they come with them.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know why they don't put them on now? They say, oh, it's to give you the option, Tom. Really? Because if I had the option, you'd drill the hole in advance so I don't void my warranty by drilling a hole in my guitar to mount a pickguard. That's self-checkout of guitar building. Oh, we'll just include it in the case that you can put it on yourself. No. I paid for a Lester Pulfus that comes with a pickguard. Well, it came with it. Yeah, installed. All right, we'll get Jimmy in the back, the co-op student at the back of Guitar Center. We'll just get him to do it. Which bit do I'll just screw it in, right? I don't need to drill a pilot hole. Did the lacquer just...
Papa Blue with a question. I just turned 64 on Saturday. Well, happy belated birthday. Do you think I'm too old for a Paul R. Smith to adopt me?
No. Keep your dreams alive. That's right, Charles. It's like classic cars with fender skirts.
You're going to have to play lots of blues jam.
I take the pickguard off my Strat so nobody can hear me.
Oh, God.
You know what you never hear? Hey, why don't you lose the pickguard on that Telly? Because Tellys without pickguards look weird.
Oh, especially if they got the wire
The base diagonal route.
Yeah.
But still, they look weird. Although, I don't know, I might have to do that sometime if I gig with the 71 so I can show off the tan lines. All right, well, we'll go a little bit longer here, folks. So if you do have any last-minute questions, get them on in. Eric asks, anyone play a Diarmond? I haven't played one in a few years. Oh, wait, was that Giangelico? Oh, excuse me. I played one of them. I don't know. I may have. Where's Aaron? Aaron would know. I don't know.
He's supposed to keep track of that stuff for you.
Eddie Van Haskell says fender skirts on a car indicates midlife crisis. No, Porsche and Corvette indicate midlife crisis. Especially, well, not especially, but definitely if you've never owned a Porsche or a Corvette prior to the age of 40, that's definitely. Unless it's a lifelong dream, like if you've always wanted one, that's a little different, Tom. All right, Tom, you finally got one because you've been bitching and moaning for 25 years about getting one. You finally got. That's awesome. Now, fender skirts tell me you're cool because you like to cruise. You know, I don't need to go all fast on the streets. I just want to cruise, relax, take a look at the scenery as I go by, if you will.
Later, Randy.
Hey, Scott. See you, Randy.
You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of a Les Paul that actually has the pick guard on the bottom, but also a matching one up on the top. How weird that would look.
Right.
It would definitely drive a lot of OCD people nuts.
Porsche while wearing an Ascot tie. Yep.
I was just to your thing of, you know, people driving Porsches. I was just watching the show Billions, and the guy gets pissed at the other dude, and he takes his, like, you know, smaller SUV type car, you know, more flat in the front, and he just rams the guy as he's pulling out on purpose in his Porsche. Guy gets out and he just keeps ramming him like 2 or 3 more times.
I allow curb feelers on some lowriders, especially some of the cars where they really have a rounded side, because you're getting into geometry. But yeah, if you just happen to own a Buick and you have curb feelers on it, you are the problem. You are the problem. All right. Yeah, fine. Don't buy your split window. You just go on over to the old Barrett Jackson if it's still in town. You can pick up a car or two there.
Yeah. Car or pickup or station wagon, you name it.
Oh, I used to love watching Barrett Jackson, especially being a car guy, because my girlfriend at the time, she'd watch it to a point. She kind of got a kick out of it. But then, you know, she's like, oh, you know, after an hour or two, you know, it's like, can we watch something else? I'm like, no. She's like, why? I'm like, see that guy in the red jacket in the background? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, he's a major car collector, like enough that I know who he is, and he hasn't bought anything yet. So what's coming up that he's there for? That's what I want to see.
Yep.
Then you have the celebrity car guys. Some are there to sell, some are there to buy, which is always fun. Charles says, Barrett Jackson makes me sad when I look at my driveway.
Oh, God. Eddie, Buick sounds like a sound you make when you're puking.
Barrett Jackson's still there. Cool. Cushman's here, I assume, because I see Charles saying hi. Oh, no, he's right above him. Duh. Look up one, Ben. That's all you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Guitar gas probably does not cause as many divorces as car gas. No, because the guys that have the car gas, they have the kind of money where they don't miss 20, 40,000. Right? Like, they're dealing on a whole different level of money. That all they have to do, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, you don't buy a guitar or two and just give that money to your other half. You know, they're going to be happy for an amount of time, right, Tom?
Mm-hmm.
Don't buy one car and give them that much money to just blow. You know, so instead of $2,000, we're talking 20 grand. Much happier. Even if you are accustomed to a certain lifestyle, you know, it's still a lot. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Although, I'm just saying, if you happen to be buying a lot of pedals, maybe buy a gift card for the local shoe store that she likes. It's the only thing better than shoes is free shoes. And I can say that as a guy who has somewhat of a Vans addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Eric makes a great point here. He said $40,000 car versus $40K in gear.
I'll take the gear over the car any day of the week.
Yeah. You could still even do, like, say, even 2 items.
Well, because like a good classic car, you know, whether it be a sports car, whatever, like a driver that you can take to car shows, but it's not going to win the car show. But, you know, it's nice. They're 40 grand now. You know, especially if you want to update the brake system and stuff like the suspension and, you know, like a resto mod.
Can I just have the 40K in cash?
You can do that too. Geez, if you threw that into your old savings account there, Tom, 40 grand, just the interest, you could probably buy like a Behringer pedal a month. Let your money work for you. Invest heavily, and then invest that money into pedals. Hey, Ian, lunchtime at work. Wow. I hope you're on the West Coast. Either that or you have a late evening shift.
40K in Bitcoin.
There you go.
Michael still has his 1982 Superbike. I don't think my uncle still has his 82 Superbike, which be the one that he won the Canadian title with in 82. I think it's in a museum now. He donated it to some museum.
Nice, Papa Blue. Yeah, that definitely can be very lucrative. Especially nowadays. If you did that nowadays, ooh.
Nice. Hey, David. He's got steak, chicken, and Spanish rice. Nice. Robot.
40K in lap dances. Just kidding.
Oh. See, I now I don't know. I don't think Lawrence can keep up with this whole pedal a month business. Even if it's 4 production pedals and 8 limited edition runs next year.
40K. I was gonna say 40K in lap dances. You could pretty much guarantee you'd have a lap dance done.
Guaranteed, you're gonna have something, Terry.
You'd have a lap dance done in your casket.
Something's gonna happen, Terry.
I'm going to guess it's going to hurt when you pee.
No, I wasn't going to say anything
Come
bad.
on, we gotta knock out a few more hundred of these lap dances. Come on, I gotta get through this $40,000.
I bet you could, Lawrence.
Let's see. Special edition gold colors, special edition gold knobs, special edition gold connections, special edition gold PC
I like pumpkin spice
boards.
Well, I'm not saying we did release the creamsicle orange delay there in October. Just saying. Did you hear that, Tom? I said we. I don't know how that worked, but hey, my knees hurt.
Bent Tom living in his mansion. Yep, and there's the lady behind his maid.
I fell off the wagon, actually. I went back to the bar.
His headboard is a bar.
Yeah. And then
wait, sleep. I'll just reach back.
All my old knickknacks.
Offset.
That's right, the offset delay for Halloween.
It happens. Oh, wait, it is Halloween. Let's do that. It's still Halloween season for me.
Tom was having a Mr. Leahy moment.
I don't know. I drove by a house today that had a fountain in the front yard, like a small fountain with a statue. I'm not saying they were Italian.
But were you kind of Italian?
Candy canes all the way around the fountain. Fine. But what's with the 4 jack-o'-lanterns in the yard as well on the other side of the driveway?
You don't mix holidays. No.
Pick a lane. That's all I'm saying. Pick a lane.
You got to call it for one team or the other. You don't mix holidays.
Yeah. Now, the house down the road from them that already had the Christmas lights up 2 weeks ago, that told me, don't even bother coming to us trick-or-treating.
Yep. We've moved on.
Yeah.
Nope. Get on.
Okay, so I saw here.
We can take a vote if everyone.
Ian works the second shift, so 9 p.m. for lunch. Been there. I used to work second shift a lot.
If anyone wants me to put the headboard as a bar back, they can vote, or they can vote for a Christmas theme. We can go that way.
Nice.
So I guess you can put 1 for keep it as it is, 2 for headboard as a bar, or 3 for Christmas theme. You got to give me 2 minutes if you pick Christmas theme, though, because I got to go find one. 1, 2, or 3.
I went into Shoppers Drug Mart 2 days after Halloween, and because I forgot to get some Halloween stuff for Sam. So.
Did you load up on candy?
Oh, fortunately, I found 100-pack of suckers. They literally had 3 bags of suckers left. All the rest was already storage containers to ship back to the warehouse, already on a skid in one aisle, and Christmas stuff everywhere by Monday morning. I was like, dang it.
Wow.
It was the day after. I was like, really? So, yeah.
Look quick now, I guess.
LPD Pedals for strippers.
Ooh, okay. We can do that. 4 for sure. We got 2 for 4. I better go start looking. Talk amongst yourself.
Secret option for strippers with dimed LPD pedals. Ooh. Tone strippers.
How's the twang for the
I think I found it.
Well, I think we will have that. We'll hit up the old saxophone one more time, and then we'll probably wrap things up. So, you guys, if you have a question, get it in now, and then we'll probably wrap things up. So I realize the time is what it is. Not that I necessarily need to be anywhere, but the old man's walking around, so he's awake. He might want to get back online at some point this evening. I don't know. Tune in tomorrow evening at.
There's your stripper. Bernie Barker.
Nice.
There's your stripper.
Threw me right off, Tom. Thanks. I believe 8 p.m. Eastern, maybe 8:30, maybe 9 p.m. Eastern. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. It depends on how Karma feels. If Karma takes Grayson to hockey, we have a show at 8 p.m. tomorrow, is what I'm saying, Terry. Canucks. Last race-based show of the year, because it was the last race of the year this weekend. So I guess, and then now the rest of it will be back to our off-season shenanigans where you get tales from the infield, which Tom always enjoys. Adventures from the infield, stories. We'll show off some memorabilia, much like we did last off-season and during the pandemic last year when there wasn't any racing to talk about. So, that's going to be fun. No spoilers, but, some good action. And we had 3 champions crowned. Yep. That happened. Amazing how that happens at the end of the year. I'll have a rant or 2 or 3. Doug has a couple of rants because I'm not saying his driver was leading the race with 50 laps to go to win the championship and then somebody caused a caution and his car wasn't quite as good again. I don't know. Maybe. We'll have to tune in and see. Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Guitar Town Hall with David Nesdall on the David Nesdall YouTube channel. Co-host me. That's right. Oh, okay. Where?
Welcome back, Janice.
Oh, Janice made it. Sweet. Janice is alive. Breaking news.
Wick strip.
It's paint stripper. That's what Lauren said he was thinking of.
Oh, stripper. Right.
Oh.
The old Ace Frehley sauce, if you will. What else? So we got the pedal board video coming out this week. Maybe, Charles, I'll install this week. We'll see. I got to move some stuff on Wednesday. I got something else going on this week too. What am I doing? Wednesday I got to move some stuff and maybe. Oh, did we see Chris from Kohlberg in the chat? Maybe I'll go visit him this week. I might be able to do that this week. I just filled up on gas tonight. It cost me $85 and I already had a quarter tank of gas. Ow.
I don't think we've seen him tonight. He was.
Yeah, tell me about it, especially since I bought on the res, so it was 12 cents a liter cheaper.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I had no problem paying $129.9 on the res, Terry, instead of $141.9.
Janice. I'm a Dana.
I don't hold it against you, Janice. That's fine. Thoughts on the Eventide H9 pedal? Think you pick one up. It's an industry standard.
I like it.
Tom has
If
one.
you can afford it, it's definitely something to get.
I like the reverbs in it and the harmonizer stuff.
If you play PRS into a H9 into a Blues Junior, you may be a tone sniffer.
No, I would say into a Milkman.
No. Well, yeah, a little tiny Milkman though, not because it's like
5-watt. The 5 watt.
Yeah, you've got like a PRS 10 top into an H9 into a 5-watt tube amp because they're not gigging. You might be a tone sniffer. If you own a pedal board and the only non-LPD pedal on the pedal board is the tuner, you might be a tone sniffer. Just saying. It can happen to any of us. That's right, Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was nice to see you on the at the EVH.
Oh, look at that. This thing got clogged. That's a reason to end the show.
Janice was
clogged.
there.
What's the point of going on now? Yes, Laz, tone sniffer. It's like cork sniffer, but for tone. That amp with the orange stripe over my shoulder. Where are we looking? Orange stripe.
Orange stripe. Orange stripe.
Which
Maybe
one?
The Greta cab.
That one?
What's up, Sean Zimmerman? I did not smoke him off.
Oh, there you go, yeah. The one above the Greta.
Nice try, Charles. Nice try.
So what is the one with the orange faceplate?
Oh, the one above it, yeah.
So what am I looking
Canadian?
at?
The amp.
Oh, above it. Oh, that, yeah, right there. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, because I can't see it because the live is covering. Yeah. That right there is my Darius D12, which is
cool looking.
112 combo amp, solid state, 12 watts. Oh, yeah. Canadian made. Somebody commented on it, actually, on the video I did on that today. It's me. I get half the comments I get is, I had one of those 25 years ago. But, because that's what it's 70 solid state steers amp, right? So I've got a soft spot for. I've also got. Well, you can't see it there. Let's rotate. Speaking of Canadiana, there's a GBX head. That is a Brentwood. Brentwood? I think Brentwood. Solid state. It's made by a head. The Darius, I believe, was made by a head.
I was going to say Pete, when he was on, also was commenting on your amps.
Right there is a Garnet cab.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of Canadiana here. Excuse me. Oh, and they're asking $40, I think. $40 at the pawn shop for it a couple years ago at Christmas time, Terry. But they had Christmas savings because you're buying stuff at Christmas time in a pawn shop. Half price.
Yeah.
So for $20, it can sit there and take up space, is what I'm saying. It's one of those, the electrical cord, I'm pretty sure the whole power cord is wrapped in electrical tape at this point.
Yeah.
One of those. So it really should have a new power cord attached, which at some point I'll get around to, because honestly, it's a quick fix and it's just as easy as actually soldering something without actually having to solder anything.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Adam Smith. Welcome, Adam.
So, there we are. So on that note, parting words, Terry?
Not much, other than maybe for item to maybe be jonesing for could currently be a blacktop Strat. We'll see.
Ooh, cool. Tom, parting words, my friend?
Halenville Wednesday at 9 p.m.
That's right.
The Fruitcake Tony.
On the Fruitcake Tony channel. Check it out. Definitely. I've said everything's coming up. Thanks again, everybody, for the support. Speaking of which, as a result of the video last week regarding the access, since we're getting, I'm close. Especially with the super chats tonight, although I won't see that money until the week of Christmas, because I get paid November, the third week of December. Although I'm sure I can get a loan off somebody to cover until then. My sister, she'll lend me the money to cover it. But there was a super chats, and she goes, all right, there we are, that works. Hey, Adam. And so I think if I sell another 2 pedals, I'm covered. So if you're interested in Boss pedals, let me know. I put up a post or something. I don't know. Hit me up if you're looking for pedals in general. Email me or hit me up if we're friends on social media. Oh, there's my sister lurking. That's what I thought. Yeah, we're close.
That's Amanda.
We're close to covering it. So, and especially because I took the Patreon money from this month because I hadn't spent it. So that's going into it. What happened last week? I realized a guitar that I've had for a couple of years, my knees hurt, I didn't actually own. I only partially paid for. And the friend of mine that sold it to me, he's like, can I get the rest of the money? And I said, yeah, give me a couple of weeks so I could sell some gear, liquidate some income, if you will. So, and a couple of you had PayPal'd me. It was like, for the fund. You guys know who you are, which is awesome. So I do appreciate that. Rather random when you're just sitting there watching a YouTube video, Tom, because, it's not like live, and all of a sudden your phone goes up, bing, and it says, a little dollar amount, and it says, for the fund, blah, 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 because you can add a little note when you send a PayPal. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet. Can't reply to it, but sweet. So I'm replying now. Thank you. And thank you very much, Michael, for the Christmas fund. I do appreciate it. Every little bit helps. So shout out again to my patrons and the channel members. You can join down below. It's awesome. Exclusive content. Got to shoot a video with my sister. I think Wednesday we're shooting a video. I don't know what it's about. It's her video. She likes to put her content on my channel, but up for the members and the patrons. That's true too, Scott. That's true too.
How to bribe Ben with lemon squares.
It's not hard. It's really not hard. So I do appreciate it. Shout out to the mod squad, throwing the links in the chats and such. Although I'm pretty sure it was Lawrence posting links to Lawrence stuff and Brad posting links to Brad stuff. So my links to my stuff is down below. Other than that, I'm rambling and have been for a number of minutes. Still got 48 watching somehow. That's 2 Scarborough suitcases, 1 for each hand. AKA a long weekend. No, you won't. No, Scott, nobody needs to see that. Nobody wants to see the sweater vest. Can you show the pedal? Which ones? I got a bunch that I have for sale. What are you looking for? Hit me up. If we're friends on Facebook, hit me up there, or email me at canuckswithguitars@gmail.com, or Instagrams, or whatever. We'll figure it out. On that note, yeah, BC Rich, I know. Yeah, you don't need that. See there, Brad. Perfect. See, self-promoting. That's why he's my favorite mailer. Doug Strong. Scarborough suitcase, don't threaten me with a good time. That's right. That's Terry. That's Tom. I'm Ben. Hold those doors open. Let that lady in traffic do good things, and good things will happen to you. Why? Doug's wife's real. Let's hope she's feeling better. Be well, be good. My throat is literally giving out on me as we speak. Cheers. Rock on.
Marcus.
You say it after I say, don't litter. Right, Tom?
Bye, Marcus.
Bye, Marcus.